All right. Anyways,
Yeah.
did you see the Mamdani stuff with Trump?
I actually watched.
I didn't watch
the
any
full
of it.
press conference they did.
I
But
didn't watch
watched
any of it.
half of it.
Okay, you actually watched it.
And
Great, because I bring zero experience in that.
well, it was funny because I watched it before I saw like anybody's sort of reaction to it. Like it just came across my feed,
Okay.
and I was genuinely floored by the
Sure.
way that
I mean,
Trump
that's
was
definitely the
talking.
vibes.
I was floored because not long before, certainly not Trump maybe in particular, but the right in general was like a Muslim running New York.
Oh yeah, all the classics, no doubt.
And Trump was saying something to that effect.
He called
like
him a
just dog
communist.
whistling.
Yeah,
Okay, so there you go.
he called him a
He
communist.
didn't bring
Yep.
up the Muslim thing at all.
I'm
surprised he didn't do
sure
that.
he did. He truths 82 times a day. Go
I
look in
know.
one of the fucking yeah. Go ahead.
Well, regardless, yeah, I couldn't go look because the election was 2 weeks ago. So 82
Yeah.
posts a day for 14 days. I gotta scroll.
It's too
mad
much,
far.
dude. Why does the
But
president have time for? Anyways, TDS. Go ahead.
TDS, we got TDS here. Yeah. So to talk all that shit, and then the second they have an in-person meeting, like he genuinely was like impressed by Mamdani. It sounded like he was he was just smiling at him. He was talking him up. He was like, "Listen, him and I
So-
want the same thing for New York. We love the city."
I did not
Holy
see the
shit.
conference, so I'm glad you did to kind of convey that like feel, which is what the headlines kind of spoke to. But may I posit to you something I heard or read somewhere that made a lot of sense to me? You tell me what you think. Someone
Okay.
said, Mamdani, like there's an amount of cameras, reporters, and interest that any event at the Oval Office will bring. Trump does these Oval Office things probably like every day, and you see how many people are interested in something. Someone said like the Mamdani one, there was like everybody wanted to be there. Everybody. Trump takes notice of that, and I believe that. I believe that Trump notices his popularity, notices the coverage he gets, because he can stick to a message and smile and be handsome the way he is. All three of those together, even the most like right-wing network will have a tough time. For now, let's see what he does with his record when he gets in. And I just think like, what do you think of that? Where you add it all up with like a bunch of cameras and interest were there, and Trump's like, oh, this guy's got a following, and he just like no principles. Trump is just like, hey, this is the way the wind is blowing. That's where I blow. You know?
Yeah, it's funny too because I was in the comment section. I can't remember if it was like AP or I think it was Reuters. I was watching the Reuters video of it, and the comment section was full of people who were like all speculating about different things of like why Trump was like
glazing
just
this
very
man.
nice to him like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I honestly I couldn't make sense of it. But that is an interesting perspective. Like he sees where the attention and the excitement is at, so he just sort of gloms onto it. I could 100% see that because
The
Trump
only-
fucking loves the camera.
Correct.
But
But even still, knowing how he's come to power and how politics works, the only way that makes sense is if he is actually losing his marbles, a la Biden, which I think we're past that. We're past some point of that. And
There's
so
a little bit of
he
it.
just loses sense of reality and sees the popularity, and that's just his instinct, and just falls into that. I mean, isn't the dude 80? I mean, at a certain point, are we gonna also have the same
80, yeah.
heavy fucking coverage and criticism on Biden like we do for? It should be the same for Trump. Man's old as fuck. So
70.
he's slipping.
He's
70.
78.
All right. Okay. What? Really? Seriously?
No, he's 79.
Okay, so he's gonna turn 80 next June because I've had to hear enough because he's been president now twice. How dare you, America? TDS podcast extraordinaire here.
TDS.
I've had to hear enough about how his birthday's in June to know that's in fucking June, so he'll be 80 then.
It
There you
is.
go. Yep.
Wait a minute.
There you go.
Wait a minute.
What?
His birthday's Juneteenth. Maybe that's why they hate Juneteenth. Isn't that Juneteenth?
I don't know, but it's close to Juneteenth. Remember he had that fucking military parade too for like the 250th celebration or whatever
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah,
of the army or some bullshit. Yeah.
I just put my foot in my mouth because it's not Juneteenth, but it's the same week, so close enough.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I also wrote here like it just jives with the fact that Trump's a scam artist. has actually no principles, that he would just, again, you have to live in the world where he forgoes his entire base, because this is going to piss people off that are in his base. That's where it doesn't make any sense. That's where legitimately it's just like, how could this happen? Why would he do this? But maybe on some level he just believes that he's that unpopular. This doesn't make any sense. I was gonna say he's that unpopular and that like he needs to. I don't know. I just think dementia and the fact that Mamdani can smile really well and gets a lot of media attention is the best answer. So
I don't know. I'm not fully convinced by that. I do think that some of this is a reflection on Mamdani and just how charismatic he is.
yeah,
I think
but
he's genuinely a very
well,
charismatic dude.
yeah, and Trump's a lame duck, right? He's not running again, so he doesn't have to care.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
definitely got nothing to lose. For
Nothing.
Sure.
Oh, he can't run again. He doesn't give a shit. Now I think that he would have ran again if he was popular, but I don't think he's ever going to regain popularity enough. Because if he was going to get stomped and he knew it, he's not going to run. If he sees the polls, and they're terrible, so I think that'll keep him out.
That one, yeah.
I think
that
actually
one I
that'll
always
keep
go
him
back
out.
and forth on because he still talks about how 2020 was stolen.
He would love
And,
to run
like-
again. Oh, he would love to run again.
But here's my thing: do you think that he actually believes 2020 was stolen?
I
Or do
do.
you think he's
I
lying when
do.
he says that?
No,
That's
I
the one
do.
can
I do think
never
that he
figure.
believes that. I do think that he believes that because
Okay.
he's such a piece of shit with his narcissism and his ego. To believe otherwise would to totally deflate him in a way where he wouldn't even have energy to run again for president. I just don't think to have that deflate him like that.
So I don't know. I could still see him running again, even if his poll numbers are terrible. Because to him, if he has people around him saying like, "The polls are fake, the people love you," you know,
That's
what I
a
mean?
fair counter, especially since we know who he tried to lean on to overturn the election with lawyers and the people around him post 2020 election in those few months before Biden was inaugurated. Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani.
Sidney
Actual clown people. Clown characters from a clown world. Just
The
like
Kraken's
you remember
coming.
the sweating? Jenna Ellis. Oh my god, you just
The
and he's doing it again.
sweating!
You know what? And now you're kind of convincing me as we talk about this because he's doing it again. Are we going to talk
know.
about this? I wrote this down somewhere for something. But he's doing it again with
I
the
don't
Jim
s-
Comey case. The Jim Comey case. He fired someone because they wouldn't bring charges against Jim Comey. And then he appointed some absolute hooligan, some absolute like no experience, like just smooth brain. And did you see the reports last week where they like faked the grand jury and like
What?
like faked not faked an indictment, but like did something where they didn't present proper things to the grand jury. Like, you'd have to look it up, but it's not shocking stuff. And coming after Jim Comey just for political reasons, like, come on now. And you're not even sharp on your game. You get slapped down, which we hope so. We hope so. But anyways, back to. Is there any more on this? Let's see.
I don't know. I think I want to give.
Oh, this was
Mamdani
nuts,
some
dude.
flowers
In the
here.
article itself, this was nuts. I'm not even gonna find. I'll just read it.
Oh, I saw this.
In an especially remarkable moment, Trump interrupted Mamdani after a reporter asked the mayor-elect if he still considers the president a fascist. That's okay. You can just say yes, Trump butted in as Mamdani began answering the question. Because Mamdani had a cordial meeting with him. All right, Mamdani's not stupid. Now listen, Mamdani needs to stick to his principles, and we hope so. But he's not stupid, and I would have done the same thing he did. You had a cordial meeting where he's not going to yank funding, and he's not going to send ICE in. You're not going to sit there and directly say like, "Oh, I did call him a fat," just to like mess that. Like that doesn't make sense. But then
Yeah.
Trump just tells him to say yes. You can say it, and he smiles and he says, "Okay, all right,
He pats
yes."
his arm. Does he pats his arm too? It's so funny.
My gosh, dude. That's where
Um,
I try to explain it as much as possible. I've given you my best theory here as to what happened with he's popular and Trump has a little bit of memory trouble. But boy, it's really hard to explain all this at all, period. It just
It is fascinating.
yeah.
It's fascinating because you would think, and I'm curious who arranged this meeting. Was it Mamdani reaching out to the president's admin? Was it the admin?
I
reaching out
believe
to
that is
him?
correct that Mamdani reached out because it is tradition it goes back a while that the New York City mayor meets with the president because of how
Oh,
large
really?
New York City is.
Sure.
Yes. I just think on an economic, cultural, just all the things scale.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
believe, yeah.
That's fair.
So there's a
Okay.
precedent there. Now, look, does Trump honor precedent? No, but he decided to in this case, and they're best buds. Brown and white. What a combination.
Wow. Yeah, I gotta give flowers to Mamdani here is my biggest takeaway.
Flowers to
from this.
Mamdani, and
He must have impressed Trump.
absolute, even bigger than ever, fuck you to Trump. Because listen to this. This is also from the article. Trump says he wants to see no crime. He wants to see housing being built. He wants to see rents coming down. All things I agree with, said Trump. It's like, yes, but no shit. How? This is what Trump has always been able to get away with. He's always been able to just say things, never say how, and somehow he's popular, which never made sense to me. He has zero policy. All of you people out there, now that the shutdown ended, who are on the ACA in the Southeast, your premiums are going to go up. You lost. Ain't going to be no passing this in December, this bullshit, whatever they said.
They promised.
So, they pinky promised. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know how that goes. Yeah. But that's my thing with Trump. He says like, oh, so one, why did he decide to hear this from Mamdani? Any idiot can say that to Trump, but he's like, oh, Democrats suck, but Mamdani, he like blushes over. Don't know why. Any idiot can just say these things. But also, again, yes, like, how are you going to do it? This is what makes me very disappointed in society time and time again. When we have people that continue to win elected office. Look, not 100% participation in this country. Actually, this country sucks in comparison to a lot of Western democracies with their voter participation. But there still is voting at a level that isn't like a sham democracy here. Not at all. And you still get these people elected into office who can just say all the bullshit, never the how, and they win. We got to stop. It's so annoying, man.
My favorite part of Trump's platform in 2015, before he became president for his first term, was him promising to release his healthcare plan within 2 weeks. That is like somewhat of a direct quote from Trump in 2015.
Yep.
Here we are in the year of our Lord 2025, about 10 years later. He's president again somehow, and he still has concepts of a plan. It's like, Jesus fucking...
It's always infrastructure week, baby. It's always infrastructure week. And I've said this before. It's been infrastructure week from 2015 to 2025. And in between, Democrats actually passed an infrastructure bill. But even still, it's always been infrastructure week, dude. By the way, that infrastructure bill in the Biden days was bipartisan. And I don't even like that word, but it was bipartisan in a way that was good. That actually was good. I actually don't like that term because people think it's some...
It's funny because Well, why don't you like that term?
You want to do that? Sure. Because I think at the end of the day, decisions need to be made that are for the best interest of the working class. And bipartisanship doesn't always... in service of that. Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Sure.
There's a disconnect. They act like bipartisanship is something where they're reaching across the aisle for all Americans, but you fuck working people over every time. Sorry, go ahead.
Sending money to Israel is bipartisan.
Yeah, it's so fuck. Yeah, and that's bullshit.
That's bullshit. Support it.
NAFTA is bipartisan. We don't give a fuck. Jobs dried up. Like it didn't. It just didn't make sense. Go ahead. Yeah.
Shout out to the only good thing that Donald Trump ever did was kill TPP. That could be controversial, but that's how I feel about it.
I agree, though. Now, look, the average knower of what went down with this would tell you, well, TPP could have expanded our GDP and expanded this and that, but it never trickles down to the middle class, so we reject it. So we reject it. Right. That's the problem, bro. If we keep building more wealth, but it doesn't come down to all facets of society, then you can kiss my ass, bro. Go ahead. Yeah.
The amount of GDP that's been generated in the U.S. since like the late 80s and the amount
wages
that
are
have stagnated
dude,
is actually insane.
Facts.
It is crazy that that's even functionally possible.
And it took a fucking pandemic and a shortage of a lot of things in a lot of ways just to push wages up. And now they're back to just being the pitiful increases back to like normal. So dumb. And by the way, the only time they actually went up and wages actually like gained is when inflation was high. What the fuck? So everyone, you got nothing. You got absolutely nothing. Anyway.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Some would argue that the wages going up is what created inflation. You ever think about that, Cyril?
No, I reject that. PPP loans. Then explain to me PPP loans. Fuck you. Every time people bring up the checks they sent out, I bring up the fact that they forgave every PPP loan. Even Steven Crowder got forgiven. We could go on and on. I could pick all the assholes that I don't like and be like, look at these PPP loans that got forgiven. It's true, dude. So fuck off with your... Dude, even if you're right that printing checks actually caused inflation, in a vacuum, sure, you just pump more money into things. In a vacuum, you would think inflation. Yeah, we get that economically. We're not dumb as shit. The problem is you have a complicated economy out there, and you have the government also giving out loans to business owners to the tune of way more cash than just the checks they sent out, and they forgave them. They didn't even have to pay them back. So I just miss me. I always
kind of roll my eyes because, like, for sure, all the money spent during COVID absolutely contributed to inflation. But you're right.
Sure, I'm fine with saying
we spent arguably more on PPP loans that got forgiven than giving money directly to U.S. citizens. I'd have to look at the numbers, but either way, I don't know.
And I don't even give a shit about the numbers. When you don't consider all of the things, when you don't also, if you're a right-winger that's out here, you shouldn't give checks to people, but you don't criticize PPP, then go fuck yourself. We don't want to hear from you. Criticize it all or get lost. Be consistent. Yeah.
The United States government gives out gas and oil subsidies.
Yeah, exactly. You could do this so many different
oil
ways.
Companies in this country, right? Like, so, yeah, if we want, I always get so tired of the people that shit on, like, whenever the working class gets a windfall, it's a fucking,
it's like, it's
a handout, but whenever it's the corporate class, it's just stimulus. Like, go fuck yourself, man.
That's what's so tiring about this country.
Yeah, I agree. That is the most tiring talking point. And
you people are so libertarian brain broken. It's ridiculous, man. Oh, how could people in Spain get a 2-hour lunch every day where some of them even drink espressos and a couple beers? It's like because they know how to enjoy things. Shut the, like, I'm not even saying we have to do that. I'm just saying open your mind to not being just like a fucking, rise and grind. Like, Jesus Christ, there's things to do in life other than rise and grind. God damn, bro.
We should worship at the cult.
And by the way,
the altar of capitalism, and we should always, have a production mindset.
It's not even about capitalism. By the way, it's not even about capitalism. We don't even have it the worst. An actual state party that has communism in its name has a word like the Chinese and the Koreans and the Japanese. You always hear these things where like the U.S. or some person from another part of the world is like, oh, I admire the fact that they work 7 days a week, like 8 to 8 p.m. It's like, yeah, we don't want to do that. Fuck that. No thanks. Have you ever considered that the absolute rise and grind that goes on in those countries is contributing to the fact that their birth rates are plummeting? Have you considered that at all? No, they don't care. They don't care. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission.
Ask yourself.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next thing. But I'm on a mission to tie everything back to the fact that everything that we continue to do, everything that a lot of us in this country especially get gaslit into, continues to just hurt the working class. I'm so pissed off. We need to actually start doing things for the working class. Like, the next person that I have a conversation with, and brings up the deficit in a right-wing way, I'm gonna have to fight every fiber of my being not to blow my fucking top and be like, oh, now that it's time to cut, we still get fucked as working. No. Figure out how to, tax the haves and give a little more to the have-nots in ways that make sense. And then you can start talking about the rest. I just...
No, yeah, I agree.
Tired as fuck.
It's always funny, too, because, like, Trump manages to slash benefits for working class or poor people, but also increase the deficit. Like, that is there's truly incredible.
And they continue to clap like seals. Listen, if I have a candidate running for office who says, I want Medicare for all, gets in and spinelessly turns its back on that, I would be like, fuck that person. But the right wing, they're, Doge and the deficit. We're going to, Doge and the deficit. They get in, they make it worse. They say nothing. Stand on your principles. You people are disgusting. What are we doing here? Again, going back to something we talked about like tens of minutes ago. No guardrails for your side. So when they get power, they can do whatever the fuck they want. Because you people don't hold them accountable at all to anything. Anything at all. all the fucking drugs that Elon took and then all the claiming that he'd cut trillions of dollars, the deficit is up drastically since Doge like opened and closed. I don't even know. Is it still going? Who gives a fuck? Because all they did was make it worse. So we hope it's not still going. It's just like, hold your people accountable. I don't even. You're right wing, great. You're right wing, great. Stand on your principles at least. And then at least if you stand on yours and I stand on mine, we can figure out whatever the way forward is if we're being in good faith and but we don't see that. We don't see that.
No.
So,
no.
It's worrying.
Well, because for them to criticize their own would be to lose, and they can't lose, right? You're on the side of the culture war that you know is the right one, so you can never concede ground. And I will say, I've seen the criticism coming from MAGA, or like former MAGA at this point, is starting to bubble up a bit more, but it's not enough. Not enough for what he's done. I mean, the same people who would go, oh, Nancy Pelosi, she came into Congress and she's leaving now, like, with hundreds of millions of dollars, but will turn an absolute blind eye to the billions that Trump has made on crypto.
I know, crypto alone.
Shilling crypto as an active president-elect
so dumb.
Is insane.
So dumb.
Both of those things are shitty. But if you can't bring yourself to say that, then I don't know what to do with you. I don't know what to do with you.
If we lived in a world...
If you're never going to be honest about your own, then what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah. And I don't even want to like have to somehow praise Nancy Pelosi. Yuck, dude. I don't like corporate Democrats. But let's, in a vacuum, you need to choose a leader of your society. You get either Donald Trump or Nancy Pelosi. If you pick Donald Trump, it's just like in today, right now, not 2015. If you pick Donald Trump today, right now, I don't know what to say. And yet, in actual society, you might on the street still maybe now because Trump is collapsing in his polls, maybe not. But definitely last year before he got elected, you would stop 10 people on the road and be like, who would you rather have leading the society, Trump or Pelosi? And they would pick Trump more times than Pelosi. And it sucks because, and you know, we're no strangers to criticizing Democrats. It's not, again, I don't think Pelosi is your best choice. What are we talking about? But Jesus Christ, anybody's better than Trump? No. No. Is anybody better than a scam artist? No. I would think so. And to wrap it up on a positive note, I just hope, and I felt this the other day, I wonder what you think, and we'll move on. So I'll give you the last word here. I felt excited about Mamdani because of the things he said and the ways that he's trying to tax the haves and give to the have-nots in ways that create opportunity, right, for lower class people, trying to do what he can about affordability. But I do think that, and it's probably because we have PTSD, all of us, with our leaders in politics these days. When I heard the first and read the first headlines of, oh, this went well, and like they chummed up to each other, did you at any point think to yourself, all right, Mamdani, you got to follow through? Like, don't you worry? Don't you worry every time someone gets elected, they don't follow through?
Well, yeah, I mean, you get chewed up by the machine, right? You get in there and you realize.
But that's not an excuse. It's not an excuse because even if you get chewed up by the machine and you get held up, you should be out there communicating in a way that fights against that.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have that thought at all when Mamdani was chumming it up with Trump. I didn't think like, oh, he bent the knee, he kissed the ring.
I didn't think he'd bent the knee or kissed the ring. I just was worried that like you got to stay strong to those exact principles.
Sure.
Can't move off them. Don't move off them.
Yeah, I'm going to take him at his word until he shows me otherwise.
I agree.
So,
I agree. It was just a knee-jerk, like, no, neither am I. Neither am I. I still think.
I get what you're saying. It is PTSD, right? I mean, it's the John Fetterman, or, you know, to a greater extent, it's the Barack Obama, where it's like, man, this guy's saying all the right things, and then 8 years go by, and you kind of have healthcare, and it's like, what the fuck happened? Where did all the momentum go?
Exactly. Such a great way of putting it. It's like, how many progressive wins do you have? It's like, well, we got, you know, a little bit of health care. Okay.
well,
there's others. We're being assholes. There's an infrastructure bill, blah, blah, but it doesn't feel great.
And there is the other side of that, though, where, like, the biggest progressive senator doesn't even belong to the Democratic Party because he was chewed out and he was sort of spit out by the machine because he wouldn't play the game. So now he's an independent from Vermont.
Right.
who says all the right things and is always voting for the right things, but like the Democrats want nothing to do with him. It's like, okay, well, that's very telling as well, you know. So that can cut
He's an
both
independent
ways.
in the fighter way, not the Angus King way. We see you, dude. Angus King, scumbag. All right.
Sorry, who is Angus?
Angus King is one of the 6 senators who voted to open the government again without getting the healthcare capitulations to help people.
Well, they got a promise. They got a handshake and a wink and a slap on
and
the
he's
ass.
an independent from Maine who caucuses with the Democrats.
Oh, I see.
All right. Anyways,
Is
let's
he a
move on.
recent independent?
No, he's been.
He's been okay.
Yeah, I think
Well,
he's. I
there
think
you
he's
go.
every. Look into his history though, because he definitely had a local government passed before being a senator. So I'm sure he was Democrat or Republican at some point, and then Northeast is a weird place politically for that, I guess, because Vermont and Maine, the only 2 independent senators. So.